In this video, I'm going to show you how to work with chipboard, which is like the cardboard that you get in a lot of food packaging. Although the object that I'm making is fairly simple in shape and size, and also kind of silly, a lot of the tips and techniques I show you in this video can be utilized for a wide variety of forms. So even though it's a little silly, it's still worth the watch to learn some different techniques. Okay, so I have my cardboard box here that I'm going to work with. I'm just cutting it a little bit smaller with my scissors, which will make it easier to work with. I've measured the object I'm remaking, and I'm using a clear translucent ruler with grids on it, which I like. This is also a rotary cutter, which I enjoy cutting with. If you notice, I'm making a couple passes with it with light pressure as opposed to one single pass with heavy pressure. That's a lot safer to do when you're working with rotary cutters or X-Acto knives. It's just to make a couple passes. Right now I'm conditioning the cardboard just to make it want to curve and be a little bit softer. I'm using my hand so you can see that, but you can also use the edge of a table to help soften or kind of condition the cardboard. So here I'm just identifying about how long I will need for the material. I'm going to tear off this little side piece here so I can kind of get a torn edge. I used that pen to help push the cardboard up along the edge of a ruler, which would allow me to tear it a little bit easier. So I kind of created a crease there. You can also use a tool that's called a bone folder to do that. I didn't have one next to me, so I just improvised by using that pen cap. So this is going to be the inside piece, the 2-ply of the toilet paper roll that I'm working with. And I'm making a very important decision here. Am I going to have the text facing out or facing in? Marking where that's going to go and where I need to add some glue. I like to use just a really cheap little chip brush to spread the glue around so I get a nice uniform pass. I like to put paper over the top when I'm pressing it so that I don't get glue on my hands and then spread that glue all over. I'm again improvising with the end of a scissors instead of a bone folder, just something to help me press that glue into the cardboard. Figuring out where another little bit of glue is going to go. And I always have a scrap sheet of paper underneath me that I'm gluing. So I realized that I had a little bit of a gap under the two pieces of cardboard. So a little trick that you can do for that is to take a scrap sheet of paper and apply some glue to the edge of that paper. I'm going to brush it out to get a nice full coverage of that glue. And then you just slide it under the area where you need more glue and press. And the glue from that scrap sheet of paper will transfer underneath that edge, and then you can press that again. If I had waited longer and not been as impatient, it would have stuck together. But this is a trick if you need to get glue in a tight spot. At this point, because the cardboard has a little bit of sheen to it, if I had some sandpaper near me, I probably would have grabbed the sandpaper to try to rough up that surface a little bit to help it adhere. It did do fine without sandpaper though. I glued it and then I clamped it with some tape, as you can see here. If you need a little bit more pressure, maybe some clothespins or some other object that has a little weight to it could help. Just let this dry for 30 minutes to an hour, and then you're ready to play a little bit more with the form.